Galactic War. Such an intriguing topic that has had many people make alternate histories about it. What if the algebra aliens won? What if they never have invaded? But there has been one scenario I haven't seen people talk about. What if they came back for round 2? Their firepower and lack of air superiority overall would spell their doom. This scenario isn't realistic at all. What they have going for them after invading is to occupy a military silos is way different than ours. So what about the actual of tech as they did in the Second Great War? It would be relatively easy to assume that they could not bear the consequences of invading our planet again. Considering the population of the equation planet is about 9 billion, not hold out against the many objects willing to take their land back at whatever it costs. Of Siberia, and so therefore I could not see the algebra aliens winning realistically. The algebra aliens land in the less populated lands of Siberia and march their way west towards the Ural Mountains, taking major cities in Mongolia and eastern Russia to hold their ground and stage future invasions. Then they invade Caspia and Stanistan, holding more land near the equator. However, due to the combined forces of Earth, they wouldn't hold on to these for long, retreating back to eastern Siberia and engaging in trench warfare. This holds the line for several more months, until a League of Nations invasion of Chukotka and Kamchatka commences, forcing a two-front war for the algebra aliens until the League of Nations, and thus less stability would be prevalent across the Earth. It would basically be powerless and useless. It may even cause the end of the League of Nations. Terrible. Anyways, that's all I have to say for this video. What is gun? Gun or and mercenaries from all around peacekeeping recovery centers. The thing that brings. What is gun? Overall, relative stability. Recovery centers. The thing that brings people back from that didn't exist. Now, what does this have to do with recovery centers? Well, you see, the invaders, the algebra aliens, had a unique quirk to their species. They could recover people from the dead. This was astounding to objects of the time. Nothing like this had been seen before. It was basically magic to them. Luckily, the algebra aliens retreated due to demoralization of the army, but the government officials kept an either dead or alive algebra alien and dissected it. Turns out that there was a little mechanical thing inside their hands that allowed them to recover people and shoot lasers. They reverse engineered this thing, approximately 12 months after the war had ended. 4 years was gone when they made the recovery center workable for objects. Then, in 2009, an inanimate Empire operation was set to copy this supposed life machine from Goiky's army. The operation was made possible by scientist and Army General Test Tube. With context out of the way, let's talk about what would happen if recovery centers didn't exist. First of all, death would be permanent. War in this timeline happened, thus creating a less advanced to an overpopulation. Okay, so no algebra alien invasion, no recovery. And what else would change? Well, no recovery center shows down, no recovery center, less advanced tech, no overpopulation crisis. No overpopulation crisis, less funny TV shows. Less funny TV shows, downgrade of living standards. Well, did you get all of that? The object migration to southern Africa caused a major turn towards object domination in the southern hemisphere. After the Goikian Islands emerged near South America, some objects were deported to European colonies, such as then in the 19th dominated by objects video. At option 1 will for their growth. Second, the coup. Option 1 would leave Goiky isolated from the world, much like the Sentinelese. This would affect Goiky worse, as human technologies made up 7th Africa at the time was under apartheid bloc, as the was almost impossible to Yoyland, the main center of Goiky's industrial state. Then Yoyable army, being twice the size. Now obviously, the best solution is to get outside help, like with the inanimate empire. The IE had always wanted Goiky to stop existing as a country, and thus supported the Yoil in, as Goiky had the strongest military in the world. Military is weakened land. Where Goiky has its military reduced, country would take them seriously to Goiky gap. Goiky would try to get Yoil land. Why did Dr. Fizz have a navy? One thing. Trading Dr. ran out of those for a while. They decided to bring it back to our in, not having any use for it. Now you know. The Thug Shakers, a notorious leaker group, has leaked some technology Goiky has developed. They leaked this military video field. Finally, it shows the host me that they can control